how much exactly have you spent on the gacha games?
Probably like high five. Yeah, digits.
5 digits. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, actually it might be 6, not 5, but yeah.
6. I'm just gonna round up to on honkaistarrail alone, and we'll just leave it as that. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Xethrion. I've been collaborating with Pokke. We first started out with him doing my polls, and then we eventually figured, you know, if we are gonna E6S5 everything, we might as well just add more data for the community. Yes, I am Singaporean from my accent, and yes, we have met up before. That's how Pokke got his green screen. Welcome to Pokke's account audit of my very humble and relatable account.
Subscribe!
Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and this is gonna be my very first chat account audit, right? This is not an account audit with a content creator, and I'm pretty sure that if you guys have been watching my videos for the past couple of months, you would have noticed this individual going by the name of Xethrion. Every single E6S5 pools, every single $1 versus $2,000 testing has always been on Xethrion's account. He is probably the richest whale I have ever known in my entire life. Alright, so Zeth, tell us more about yourself. Like, so what is it like? What are like your background and like roughly how much you spend? Like, just basically tell us more about yourself.
Okay, so I did not grow up what we will call traditionally wealthy, in case that's what everyone thinks. I did grow up in a HDB flat, and I still continue to live in a HDB flat to this day while we're looking for a new place. I started out because I'm a collector, and as my wife will attest, my house is currently full of stuff that I'm collecting. It's full to the point where I can no longer get anything physical, more or less, because the house is entirely full of my junk. And so, yeah, so I started out collecting characters and stuff in Hoyoverse games. I first started out with Genshin, so that's mostly C6R5 in Genshin, and then came over to StarRail a bit hesitantly because I was worried about the impact. But yeah, it turned out to be honestly very engaging, a lot more fun than the other game, sad to say. So I've kind of gone all in.
Yeah, great. Yeah. I guess just the very first question. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are very interested to know how much, if you could put a number to it, how much exactly or how much roughly have you spent on the gacha games over the course of your life?
I think it's hard to say. Probably like 5. High 5.
High 5? What's
yeah, digits.
5 digits. Oh, okay. I was like 5,000. That doesn't sound right. Oh,
No,
5 digits. Okay.
Yeah, so I go quite far back, unfortunately. So there was Brave Frontier, then there was Clash Royale, then there was Fire Emblem Heroes, and then there was this really small obscure game called Langrisser. And then now, yeah, Brave Frontier, the original one, guys. And now the Hoyoverse games. So I've done stuff in Genshin and honkaistarrail, and unfortunately I had made a promise with myself to just play for story in Honkai Impact 3, and yeah, the old habits kind of took over. So unfortunately, actually it might be 6, not 5, but yeah.
6!
Now that I think about how many years it's been going back,
Okay, how about just like Genshin, HI3, and honkaistarrail? Just these three
Okay.
games alone. Yeah.
I think, if you don't mind, I'm just going to quickly pull up my StarRail station. That's the ultimate record. So, character event warp, that's 12,371 warps in the character event. Light cone 6,600. And the standard banner is 1,570. So I think that's 8,000 plus. So 20,000 warps in... Oh, wow, that's a lot.
20,000 warps. Okay, assuming that like maybe 10% is like free to play stuff, so 90% is probably paid. So that's like
yeah, that's quite a bit.
Okay, 18,000 warps, which is 2.8 million stellar jades. And then if we go by the 99 USD pack, that is roughly 35.
I'm not feeling too good right now.
That's roughly $35,000. And that do you do max refresh and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, I do. So every day since I started on Jing Yuan's banner first day.
Alright, so on pools alone is 35k and not including max refresh, and you still max refresh every single day.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna round up to 50k on Honkai Star Rail alone. And we'll just leave it as that. Yeah. So that's
For
gonna
Genshin, I put out the math.
Uh-huh.
I have 23,700 on the character event,
Okay.
21,800 on the weapon event,
Holy shit, that's a lot on weapon. Because Genshin
and I have
weapons. Okay.
yeah, Genshin is just really bad for weapons, man. And I have 1,800 on the standard banner.
Okay.
But there was a lot of free in-game resources anyway. So
Yeah. Okay, considering the fact that this game has been out for like 3.5 years, I think this is not that crazy. I feel like it's like technically lesser than Star Rail because this Star Rail has been 1 year and it's really been this
yeah,
amount.
because the pace of release in Star Rail is a bit more.
Absolutely,
It's a
yeah.
bit more rapid. Yeah. It's always two per patch. Yeah, never less. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a lot of questions in this account audit. It's really not so much an account because I'm pretty sure everyone in the moms will know that this account is just unrelatable. But I just really want to like deep dive into like your perspective as like a whale and like spending
course.
gacha. Yeah, I think this will be a very, very interesting episode. So yeah, I guess the next question leading up to it, so which is basically you've spent like roughly 50k on Honkai Star Rail kind of stuff. What would you say are like your best bang for bucks in this game so far? Like your best bang for buck, like E6S5 or like weapons or whatever. Yeah.
Can I say what's my worst? I think
Sure.
I think it might get you in trouble though.
Nah, I'm good.
Remember what I said about me starting on the first day of Jingyuan banner and how I had missed Sealer.
Yeah.
And so I went all in on Jingyuan. E6, S5. And I was like, surely I'll get the same results as all the previous people who pulled Sealer. And just let me say that for the next few months, missing Sealer was quite a big regret. Let's just put it that way. Because I didn't quite feel the impact of the very first E6, S5 I pulled. But to answer your question directly, bang for buck obviously will be Acheron, just because she's the absolute most insane generation 2.0 DPS. Second, everything is a 2.0 unit actually. Second would be Aventurine because it's a sustain that can do extremely decent damage. And third would probably be Sparkle, just because at E6 she shares her plus 250-300% crit damage buff to the entire team, and that's quite transformative. So yeah, top 3.
I was surprised you didn't say E6S5, Ramen, or Robin. Because I thought those are like completely bongs as well. It's like your basics is doing like 200k for like supports.
Yeah, I mean they'll be probably number 4 and number 5, honestly. It's really hard to choose between the 3 limited harmonies because they all have their own niche, which is why I guess they're all very balanced in that way. If you want worst, besides who I've already mentioned, the next worst would probably be Blade, I think. He's just alright at E6S5, but he's not in terms of sheer power level, he's not quite there. And I think third would be Fu Xuan, mainly because the damage from the E6 is extremely overrated.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds really, really insightful because I mean, most players will never probably get E6S5, but hearing your perspective, they probably have a rough sense of what to expect next time if they ever were to get there. Okay, so as a whale in Honkai Star Rail, what are like some pros and cons like whaling in this game compared to, let's just say, Genshin Impact, because I think these two are like the most interchangeable games for our demographic. So yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's more stuff to do. I'm really not trying to pick a side because I'm still playing Genshin. I'm still C6, now R1 because the weapon banner in Genshin is just Rs in Genshin as well. But the problem is there isn't really much you can do with your characters in Genshin. Once you build them up, you're like, oh, my shiny new toy, where should I use it? I'll use it in the open world. Wow. Such fun. There's just a lot more things to do with your characters, which is why kits in HSR are just a lot more interesting, I feel. And they started doing weird things in the only endgame mode that we have at the current time of recording, which is Abyss, where they put in mechanics for the boss to go invulnerable for long periods of time, and that's extremely annoying for lots of people. I mean, once you're at C6R5, you just basically delete the boss in 10 to 20 seconds anyway. But I can see how it annoys regular players. And honestly, Abyss is just it's just something I have against it. It feels very tedious. I can clear every stage in 20 seconds, but it still feels not like fun. It feels like work. So, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather just play HSR. Yeah.
Then what about like in Honkai Star Rail, like when you whale, what are like the worst sides of Honkai Star Rail since that was such a Genshin?
I don't know whether this is like, okay, I guess it's a bit too long to be a honeymoon phase, but I still really like it. I have no regrets, honestly.
Then?
I know I always see the comments saying that, oh, there's no challenge once you E6 for everything. And to be honest, even if there's a challenge, so what? Who cares about your zero cycle? Nobody cares if you zero cycle. Nobody cares if I zero cycle. You know, there is no accomplishment. This is a gacha game. This is not League. This is not Valorant. This is not CS. Okay? So let's just get that out of the way. It's so much RNG, it's so much relic farming, you know, and I mean, at the end of the day, we're just playing this for fun, right? So to me, the pro is that I just have fun with my kids. You know, I can just run wherever I run. I'm not a content creator, so I don't need to flex my zero cycles anywhere, you know. Yeah. And I have other things in my life that give me validation rather than doing a zero cycle in a gacha game.
I think we can talk a little bit more about like your things outside of games if you're comfortable sharing. Yeah, but like for now, let's just talk about the game. But okay, anyways, would you say if there's any improvements that can be made to honkaistarrail, what would you say you hope to see them implement?
So, you know, now there's a mode for destruction characters, which is 2 to 3 target content, which is basically MOC. There is erudition-ish based content like pure fiction, and so it would be perfect. Actually, wait, have they announced it yet? I think they have.
They have, yeah, Apocalyptic Shadows. Oh okay. They already say there's going to be boss fights. Yep.
Alright. So they've already announced Apocalyptic Shadow, where there is basically content for single target focused DPSs, and with that, I guess the trinity of content is complete. Would I mind if they added more stuff like the SU expansion modules? Of course not, you know, because that's always a nice few days to weeks of content. But yeah, I mean, as it is, once you add Apocalyptic Shadow, I think the niche of each type of DPS character is more or less set. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see what deals the most damage in Apocalyptic Shadow. I am pretty sure it's going to be the follow-up team because there's just nothing that can match it currently.
Yeah, sounds good. I guess the next question is not really specifically towards like honkaistarrail, but it is more so towards, since we are getting quite a lot of endgame content, like we're gonna get Apocalyptic Shadows, so it's gonna be like 2 weeks rotation, MOC, Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadows. But what would you say your outlook on gacha games in general is? So for example, Warring Wave is coming on, I believe 1 week, if I'm not wrong, roughly 1 week, and then Zenless is gonna come out like 2 months after that. So like there's always gonna be new games. So how exactly would you like balance around your life with all these new games? Yeah.
So currently, I think the main thing I look at, the time commitment needed. And I say that mainly because I do have a full-time job, but we can go into that more if you want. I am a parent. I have 2 kids currently, and my third is due in August, so that's going to get busy. I'm also quite serious about fitness as well. So I hit the gym at least 4 times a week. I also have been told by my trainer to add in cardio. So that's going to be tough because I keep gassing out during our sessions. Yeah. So ultimately I have to balance these things, and you know, gaming is primarily just entertainment. I've been gaming since I was 6 or 7, and with my original console being an NES, if I remember correctly. I'm 39, by the way, in case anybody was.
Oh, you're 39?
Yeah, this year.
Holy shit! Damn. Okay. Couldn't tell. You look very, very good for your age.
Thank you. So, anyway, trivia is that next year is 40, and I'm planning another like topless 6-pack photo shoot for 40 years old. I'm just gonna try to bring a better package to the photo shoot than 4 years ago. But anyway, so I've got a lot of other stuff to balance already. So to me, it comes down to the time commitment. HSR is nice because you can just hit auto for all of the dailies, and you get it done in like 5 minutes, which is perfect. Well, Genshin is not so perfect because everything is manual. I'm sure you've felt it yourself now that you've started.
Yeah.
Although you do have, shall we call them account executives to help out?
Yeah, executive account managers, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, executive account managers, that's right.
Yes, sir.
So there's a bit of tedium involved there. So I'm looking at WUA, I'm like, oh god, this looks very grindy, you know. So I'm not quite sure if it will fit in, because my ideal is something that can be done in maybe 30 minutes or less a day, hopefully less than 15. And for those people who say that you are just, you know, doing this and then you end up having less to play, guys, this is literally the feature. It's not a bug, it's the feature. I want there to be less to play. I'm not a student with endless hours of time to play games, right? If I were, I would go and play a MMORPG, guys. Because it is, you know, $15 a month, and you have like hundreds of hours a month of content, or thousands, you know. You can grind your life away if you want. But, you know, gacha games are appeal to people who are a bit time poor. And so to me, that's always the ultimate thing. Because if I have a choice of playing with my kids or looking at my phone and playing gacha games, obviously I'm going to choose the former, right? I'll play with my kids. Because once those moments are gone, you don't get them back.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn. It's very nice to hear you say this because I think a couple of months ago, I think Tectone, he has this discussion with another content creator, like what is like Hoyo versus target demographic, and then it was something along the lines of, I think their target demographic is casuals, but then someone said something like casuals are not whales. But I feel like you are pretty much like the prime example of like a whale who just don't want to spend time in this game, but will still spend like ridiculous amounts of money. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, because I think in life, you either have lots of time or you take that time and you trade it for money. Unless you are from the ultimate upper class, which come with hereditary assets and you don't have to work for your money. And that's really rare. That's like 1% of the population, you know. So in designing a game, I suppose, in the end, you kind of have to decide, do you want to appeal to the people with a lot of time, you know, or what MiHoYo has done? Which I mean, it's quite smart, isn't it? And their financial results show, you know, that it's working.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what would you say is like any future plans for honkaistarrail? Are you just gonna E6 S5 everything, or will it eventually become like some point you're gonna stop and slow down like you did with Genshin?
Never.
Or just never?
I like it the most out of everything I'm playing. I mean, I can't say, you know, I'll do this forever. You know, maybe I will eventually, you know, end up actually buying that $7 to $8 million landed property somewhere in Singapore.
Will you let your kids play your account? Like just let them hop on?
What makes you think they haven't already?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my 6-year-old likes to do Genshin stuff, but because he's 6, you know, he just goes into the open world. He just doesn't bother with using elemental skill or burst. He just uses left click on every mob he sees. He likes to go swimming in fontaine because he can't drown, you know. So yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah. Would you like pass these accounts down like almost like an asset, like hey, this is yours now, then you let them deal with it?
I mean, if I'm not playing, but I doubt it, because for the life, I probably play as long as I am able to. So I would rather drop everything else than HSR. I'll rather drop Genshin. I'll rather drop HI3, which I already have, I think. I'll rather drop, you know, AFK Journey, thanks to your extremely successful advertising.
Oh, you dropped it?
No, I'm not. Dude,
Oh,
I'm
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I am a true HSR fan.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going through all this like signature icons that Eidolons so that people can see.
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a bit like OCD. So they need to use their signature icons, but I'm well aware that there are some, especially the standards, that probably have better alternatives by now. But you know, it's a kind of OCD thing. There are pictures on light codes, so they will use it. I do have a few extra S1 copies here and there for the useful ones like Jing Yuan's. I can't remember who else I got. I think I got an extra one for Sparkle, just in case I wanted to stack that crit damage buff. I mostly stop at S5 for the time being. I have an extra deal light cone just for Clara, because you know it's a good upgrade for her. I'm probably gonna get an extra S1 Run Mei for Harmony MC, just because it fits quite well.
Damn, insane, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not some like, you know, crazy S100.
Oh yeah, that guy is completely nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so I have lots of 4-star light codes, and I'm sorry to chat, but I use them for EXP fodder. It is what it is, you know. You gotta keep the number of purples down. Or they're gonna kill me.
Okay, but you keep like dance and like some of the good ones.
So I keep at least S10 to S15 of every 4-star light code before I start to fodder them, okay? So I don't fodder them for no reason. I do keep them around just in case. I keep a single S5 copy of every 3-star light code as well, just in case.
Yeah.
It's just that the base stats are just a bit low, honestly.
What would you say is like your objective as a whale when you're like building a account now? Because you're still doing max refresh. So what exactly are like your goals and priorities for now and the current future units?
I know this is going to sound like a paid chatter, but currently every time I log in, I am sort of pre-building the next character already, and that's because we need to have something ready to go on day one because, you know, of our of the testing series that we be doing. So I'm always a bit like time pressure, like, oh my god, I only have 3 weeks to get Wood Hill up and running. Oh no.
You don't have to care about the ranks that much. Like, it doesn't even matter. In fact, it's even better if it's like even more relatable, because MiHoYo doesn't freaking enable the toggle Eidolon shit. So I can't even like disable a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's fine to have like relatable ranks.
It feels bad to have E6 S5 and a really bad crit rate, you know. Like you log in E6 S5 Acheron, oh my god, it's E6 S5 Acheron, and you see 20, 150, and then you like smack your forehead with your palm, like, oh, you like face palm, like, why is this Acheron running 20? So I have to be, you know, somewhat unrelatable in terms of relics as well.
Alright, I guess.
But in terms of, I mean, just ultimate aim, I just want to have fun. That's why you play games, right? It's just to have fun, you know, to enjoy yourself, and it's just a nice way to pass the time. If I'm not having fun, then you know it's time to stop. But I'm having fun trying to improve on my characters. I know a lot of them are mid, but I have the absolute worst relic luck, I think. So that's my goal: have fun and keep building characters. Okay, I don't want to put everything on you, so let's just be plain that even if we didn't have a collaboration, I would still be pre-building characters anyway. You know. I just might not have them up on day one, but I will still want it to be up as soon as possible.
Yep, absolutely. Do you think like all the units you have now, they are like done? So like, for example, every single unit now is kind of like complete, and you're always just pre-file. So you're always trying to improve on something as of this time. Yeah. So for now, what are like your goals now?
So I recently got Pella her 4-piece wind, I think. Oh. So she should be sitting at 160 or something in 4-piece.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether her EHR is right where it should be, ish. You know. Yeah, and effect rare should be about there, I think. So that's my most recent completed project. Besides the obvious, you know, character test that we do. Yeah. But the problem is, it's a bit hard to get momentum to farm for another character, to improve an existing character if you do not skip any character. You know, if you only have a 3-week window to farm traces, boss mats, relics, and with the relic system being what it is quite difficult to get spare breathing space. Things that I'm still not happy with would be Dill. His crit damage is a bit low. Oh, I don't know why it's so lousy. And,
this is lousy? Oh, okay.
I mein, it's not 200. It's 0.4% of 200.
Carry on.
And Jing Liu, I have this number of 250 stuck in my mind, and it's annoying me that it's 238 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I have to work with what the game gives me, right, in terms of ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually quite surprised that you would even build Pella, considering that you literally have like E6 S5 Robin, Rame, and Bronya and Sparkle and all this. Like, I wouldn't even think you would even use them at all. Like, you wouldn't even use Ting, you wouldn't use Pella, you wouldn't use like Yukong like forever.
But I built them from the start because I was there since 1.0.
Right. So okay.
We all needed these characters. Like Pella and Tingyun were the backbone of our teams for a very, very long time until we eventually got enough supports to kind of put them on the back burner for a while. And the only reason I'm using Pella now is for 2 reasons. One is PvP, because I just did that thing with Dread. My major skill issues. I have no idea what I was thinking when I used Bronya's skill on herself. I swear. I was talking to my son and my wife at that time, so I think I misclicked. But I was like, oh, why did I do that? Oh, that's so bad, dude. What the heck? And and the misclick on Jing Liu's skill. Anyway, no excuses, right?
Well, I was 100% convinced that Dread Marshall paid you, or like Sarah scripted it, like it has to be a 1-1 so they can end in best of 3.
So we weren't really. I think you can see from the pick bans that we weren't quite serious about, you know, wanting to win. We just wanted to have fun. We wanted to especially show off the latest characters and what they could do in the E6S5 setting. So that's why, you know, we ban meme stuff like the Break Girl, what is that, Shui, if I remember correctly?
Shui.
And the Quantum Goblin, who I hate as well, Qing Xue.
Yippee.
So yeah, that's why we banned those, and we went with what we did. But I went with our general as a meme because he was my first E6S5, and so I wanted to see how he would hold up in the 2.0 era. And unfortunately, the answer is not very well. I'm very sure I had lots of misplays. I'm sure Lino could have played better as a Jingyuan main, but you know, it is what it is. Skill issue. Yeah. Damn. Jingyuan has crap, by the way, because I gave him my lousy pieces.
Oh, because there's a lot, right? There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there are a lot of better pieces, but he gets the leftovers because, you know, it's not really worth the good stuff.
I
Sadly.
see. Yeah, unfortunately. What's your favorite character?
Okay, Acheron is my favorite single character. I think they set her backstory up very well. And you know, I've played HI3 and Genshin, so there's a bit of a sentimental attachment to the Mei XPs. But my favorite team archetype, I know you didn't ask that, but would be follow-up. Just because it's very fun to cheat the turn-based system and just keep going without your enemy having a turn. And Robin just makes it even better. Yeah.
Okay, since we talk about Robin, have you tried the difference between E6 S5 from me and E6 S5 Robin?
To be honest, not really, because I usually just run E6 S5 Sparkle instead of E6 S5 Robin.
Okay.
But I think the main difference for me, because I think they offer, the damage amp is just a bit lower. But the thing about Robin that really elevates her above Ranmei in the follow-up team specifically would basically be her 100% AV. So when you think you can't zero cycle, you get her out back and then everyone just goes again. And with follow-up, it's not just everyone going again, it's everyone going again. Nambi goes 3 times, Ratio launches his ult 3 times, Aventurine does his follow-up attack another 2 times. You know, it is exponentially much better once you have all the pieces. But unfortunately, follow-up is a bit of a higher investment comp.
Usually like
same
out of
as
5 stars, yeah.
As dots, yeah. It's like at E0, S0 for everything, it's kind of mid as compared to a hyper carry comp. But when you start throwing in Eidolons, when you start throwing in limited light cones, they stack upon each other in a way that is just very satisfying, very synergistic, very smooth like a baby's backside.
Okay.
And it just feels, like you said, you know, in your video, I agree completely, very, very fun to play. And that's why it's my favorite team archetype.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you say like if in the future they release like more follow-up units, who are you gonna replace? I feel like it's just a matter of time. Yeah.
Okay, honestly, it just kind of comes down to element, I guess. So I guess Ratio is the most replaceable because Topaz is a follow-up damage amplifier. Robin is a support. Aventurine is a support, a sustain. So he's kind of the main flex pick currently.
He's just raw damage, yeah? He's just raw damage.
Yeah, it is very fun though, having his stuff go off all the time. You know, seeing like big numbers like 300k, 400k, 300k, 400k. But he's probably the most replaceable if it comes down to you having to pick another element. So if they release, like for example, Genshin mode, lightning follow-up unit, or wind follow-up unit, or ice follow-up unit, you know, and you know he'll be the first to go. Probably.
I mean, we have Jing Yuan, who's the lightning.
Well, you know, our general is I think he needs to retire. Or they need to change him. It feels kind of bad that it felt like they were iterating on his kit with future characters. Like, here's a character whose damage is extremely backloaded. Oh wait, here's a better version of an extremely backloaded character in the form of Argenti, who can actually go more times with energy refill. And then now we have our latest iteration, which is Acheron, which is here's another backloaded unit, except that you can spam her ultimate even faster with debuffs. You know, so it just feels like they were iterating on backloaded damage, unit after unit. And I'm sorry, as the V1, he's just kind of fallen behind. Unless they change his mechanics such that Lightning Lord will just go at 10 stacks. And then, you know, and then I think he'll jump back into the spotlight.
Absolutely. And it's like, I'm not sure if you've noticed, like, Topaz, like in this specific MOC, there's quite a bit of crowd controls, especially in the second half. Bro, like, even when she gets crowd controlled, the number still goes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then, like, I don't understand why there's just so many problems where all the future units do not face. It just feels bad, yeah.
Yep, it does. Yeah.
Numbi, no diffs, the Lightning Lord. But yeah, interesting.
Okay, I guess we have to be relatable and say that I don't have every E6 because Clara is not.
Is she the only one that's not E6?
Yeah, but you know, pulling on standards just feels so bad, dude. I'm just waiting for you to lose the 50-50 to her because you've certainly lost it to enough people, you know.
Yeah, we'll get your E6 Clara one day. Yeah, you'll have it one day. Absolutely. Wait, she's legit the only one they don't have?
Yeah, it's really weird. And I think we pulled for like 4 or 5 character banners without a single one of her Eidolons. It's really strange. She's really dodging me.
Damn. Yeah. When we get this up, one day.
One day. I'll slowly build her lah. I think she's due for improvement as well. She's not very good, but no E6, no build.
I think at the start of the video, we mentioned something about honkaistarrail's pacing is quite fast when it comes to units, yeah, because every 3 weeks. Would you say there is a issue with releasing units this fast, or with like issues with like DPS that are like newer, just being generally better? And this is from your perspective as a whale, or do you think this is okay in the long term?
I'm going to compare the 2 games again, mainly because it's what we have and it's their most modern products, if you will.
Yep.
Genshin ran into a problem in that all DPSs are DPSs because they are kind of interchangeable as long as you hit big numbers. They didn't really do the thing where specific elements are required for content, and they made a very conscious decision to avoid that in HSR, where they are punishing you for not breaking weaknesses more and more. Like the new purple dinosaur whose proper name I can never remember.
Absolutely. Dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels like they have a bit more of a runway to go with releasing more units of different elements, of different paths. When it comes to increasing power, I think let's just be honest with ourselves. This is a gacha. They are not charity, So if you let units from 1.x remain relevant for the duration of the lifespan, then that will cut into their quarterly reports, right? And so you kind of have to have, as a gacha designer, I'm talking from the perspective of a game designer, not as a player. You have to have a bit of power creep. It's very incremental such that it's not so obvious, but it needs to be there. Otherwise, people will just not pull and they will just continue playing what they have because it's always going to be good enough. They made that mistake originally in Genshin with the Holy Trinity of 4 stars that were there at release. And that has been a mistake that has haunted them ever since. That has limited the design space for future 4 stars to the point where future 4 stars have to lock everything away behind C6 to be good. And I think that's a mistake they're trying to avoid. So there has, unfortunately, just to get people to pull, for lack of a better word, there has to be a little bit of power creep. And you don't have to take my word for it, Any one of you guys online, go to one of our HSR resources, look at the cumulative HP of MOC, right? There's only one direction it has gone week after week, month after month, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's a gacha game. That's just the fundamental principle with all gacha games.
Yeah.
I guess in a similar note, what if the player base gets to the point where they start to not catch up due to a lack of resources and all these kind of things? Then would you say there could be like a middle ground, or would you say it's just bomb for them?
I think they have to be, they as in MiHoYo.
Yeah, MiHoYo, yep.
Have to be very careful about not alienating the vast majority. They need to keep things manageable. And I feel their balancing is targeted towards monthly pass plus battle pass plus maybe the odd, 2x here and there after the refresh. And that's kind of where they peg things at. So they look at the resources that specific player has. And if you are that player, you should have a comfortable time keeping up. If you are not, it will be more difficult. You will have to optimize your account a bit more. You have to make harder decisions, but you will not fall completely behind as long as you keep locking in. And with IMC, that is their bone. They've just thrown a bone to everybody. Low investment, but very high floor for damage. You have IMC. What are you complaining about? IMC is literally free in the story. All the Eidolons are free in the story, and I think as people get used to break as a new meta, all your problems are just break on one side, and then the other side you just throw together the best possible team you have.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts about like IMC and like Super Rig and like the direction where this is gonna be opening up completely new from the traditional like crit DPS so
I think
far?
It's good. Yeah, I think it's great to have more mechanics. It's great to not have a wasted stat on a on a relic. We've been playing for so long. It's always been a wasted stat.
Yep.
Up until now, and it's finally not a wasted stat. And I think it's great. I think they went a bit too overboard with the super break equivalent in Genshin, which is Hyper Bloom. So they pulled it back. You'll notice that break effect is not a main stat except for rope, whereas the Hyper Bloom equivalent, which is Elemental Mastery, is a main stat. So all I needed to do was just get 3 of the same main stats, and you're done. you're done farming. That's it. You just get 3 main stats and you are done.
Oh,
It's a 5% drop rate for Elemental Mastery, but still you are done once you get the main stat. And so I think they're trying to calibrate things a bit more, but I'm quite happy to see that it's happening. I'm really looking forward to... Wait, we know this already. Okay, so it's not Dream. So I'm really looking forward to Boot Hill.
Yep.
Being the first true break-based DPS. It's going to be fun. Ultimately, it's just nice to have variety in the kits because we play for fun. So when I feel like breaking, I'll pull up my break team. When I feel like dots, I'll pull up my dot team. I feel like follow-ups, I'll pull up my follow-up team,
Yeah, actually, you actually know a lot of stuff for like a whale who spends on everything. You like keep up with like everything. You keep up with the meta. You keep up with like the teams. So
yeah, I know that's a bit odd, but from my line of work, I kind of like to over prepare for everything.
damn.
So I read up a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. If anyone here plays other games, I taught myself how to play PoE, Path of Exile.
Oh my god, that's crazy, bro! I saw the talent gem. I'm like, fuck this game. I just left.
Yeah, so I watched 20 hours of videos just to understand the game, and another 20 hours beyond that just to get to know Path of Exile. And I was alright, I wasn't great, but I could play the game, and if you've ever gotten to PoE before, you know how difficult that is. But the problem, as with everything, is time, and with Path of Exile, just need a lot of time, sadly.
There's a PoE too, right? Oh.
Yeah, there is. But the problem is it's a player-based economy, so as with everything in economies, there's inflation. And so if you don't play 1 hour a day, everybody who does will earn more money than you, and because the cost of everything goes up, you are falling behind. So if you only play half an hour a day, everybody plays 1 to 2 hours a day. What you can buy, as someone who just plays the game, doesn't do trading, by the way, because I don't really want to trade, I just want to blast, I just want to map. You are able to buy less and less upgrades to your build every day, and it kind of feels bad. So it is what it is.
Would you like hire like account managers to help you with your place?
Not really though, because I wanna have the fun of playing the game itself. Because I mean, that's what gaming is for me. It's just a fun pastime. Amusingly, my wife will attest to this as well. It's one of the first 2 things that I told her on, I think, our first formal date. She's in the background now. She just snickered.
Wait, what did you say?
So the first thing is, I'm a gamer. You're never going to get me to stop gaming. I have gamed since I was...
You didn't say that.
Okay, I didn't say that. Fine, but I'm a gamer. You have to understand. So I'm never gonna I'm probably never gonna stop gaming. I'm just gonna keep gaming forever. But yeah, that's it. That's one of the first few things I ever told her on our first proper date.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay, I mean, since we are already here, okay, I might as well just talk about like IRL stuff, because like honestly, this account is just SSS here. Like, there's just no 2 ways about it. I don't really think we need to talk much about it, but I just really want to know about like the perspective of you as a Giga Whale, because I don't think there's a lot of this kind of people, at least not in Singapore as well. So yeah, okay, wait, I'm just gonna type this. There's not much there to talk about this account, so I just want to understand more about you. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I guess the very first thing is, wait, so your wife is like okay with like your spendings in like, or is like...
I mean, more or less, because I mean, with the kind of friends we have, we hear a lot of very odd stories, Some people like very odd things, like alcohol.
Okay.
Like so they buy like whiskey and all that. Some people do weird things, like I don't know, spend on weird paintings and all that by some weird obscure unknown artists that they pay like thousands of dollars for. They hang out on the bedroom wall and it doesn't look very good, but I don't want to tell her that, so
okay,
I just want to, and people buy luxury cars, and I'm sorry, I'm not a car person. In Singapore, a car is just a means of transport from A to B.
Right.
I will never buy a sports car because it's just a waste of money to me. I understand there are people who like that sort of thing. It is not an asset, unfortunately, because it always depreciates. So, my perspective is that it's leisure. Gaming is leisure. I spend it because I like to do it. There could be worse things I could be spending my money on. And as I tell her, you know what? I'm a gamer, right? I'm always going to be at home gaming. I'm not going to be out cheating on you, So what are you worried about?
Yeah, but what if she's like, yo, this 50k, it could have been like my new LV bag. Or it could have been like a new, I don't know, Dior like bag or something.
Yeah, that's true. Thankfully, she's not into branded stuff.
Okay,
So,
okay. Yeah, that's very, very good, man. That's very, very good. Yeah, I guess.
So for those talking about college tuition, all of my kids have college, university endowment fund set up, which we set aside money for every single month. Our car is bought for and paid for with cash. no loans, and mortgage is just just slowly paying that off. We paid off more than half of our mortgage already.
Damn.
So you don't have to worry about my financial health. Thank you very much.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because I was just about to ask that. So like, I guess they are curious, like, what exactly is like the income and like not exactly, but like what's your occupation and how do you like manage your finances, especially as someone who mainly spends a lot of their like money on like games. So yeah.
So I'm a doctor. So is my wife. So we are already dual income, and so I guess that kind of answers that question. In terms of how much together, it is about. You
don't have to say, by the way. You don't have to say, but if you want to say, I don't mind. But yeah, it's
500 a year ish.
Oh my god.
But that is with the caveat that we are both in the public sector, so that's actually low. I have friends in the private sector who are clearing double that themselves, and I guess eventually I will be moving to the private sector because if I get offered 2 to 3 times the pay for doing the same work, then
absolutely,
you kind of might as well, right? So yeah, so we are very blessed. We are very aware of that. Again, I came from very humble beginnings. My dad was a ship captain. My mother was a housewife, and we were just HDB people for the most part until I got into medical school. And even then, when you're working up your way through the ranks in medicine, you don't earn a lot. So yeah.
You have been a doctor for like how long already?
So I graduated in 2000 and it's been a while. 2008.
Holy shit.
I've been working for 16 years. And so I've reached a point where I'm relatively comfortable financially as well as professionally. Okay,
I love every single time a rich person say it's always, we're comfortable. It's like the favorite word to use. We're just comfortable, yeah.
So my perspective is that if you are truly rich, you will not have to work. If you have to work, I'm sorry to put it to you, but you are middle class. You might be upper middle class, but you are middle class. If your life is dependent on a salary, you are not upper class. You will never be upper class. And that is unfortunately reality. If you were upper class, you were born with millions or billions of dollars of assets that generate passive income for you, and you never have to work. It is what it is. We are all middle class.
Holy Sag, holy life. Aware. Would you say that this like lifestyle, I guess, like how would you like raise your kids? 'Cause I think like some people they would like spoil the kids, or like what would they like let them do, or like how would they go about copying about like their entertainment and like their lifestyle, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I don't know whether if I can provide a balanced perspective, because all our friends are also all doctors. Right. All our friends kind of went to the same schools growing up, so they're all in equally comfortable professions. Like law, finance, high positions in politics and all that. So I am aware that my circles are not the average experience of Singapore, but I don't think it's really something very different. We don't bring them on overseas holidays very much. We don't buy them like luxurious things. They certainly don't have branded clothes. It's a waste of money because they outgrow them. They eat what you guys eat. They play with the same toys. We buy the same stuff from Toys R Us and all that. So I don't think they live very different lives. And again, they are not living in the lap of luxury. Like they don't have everything branded. We don't spoil them either. Yeah, we scold our son. We tell him to go to Chinese tuition. Make sure he reads his passages, do his things here. I mean, how much more Singaporean do you want to get?
Yeah. No, someone from chat said you're in the genius society and your doctor ratio.
Hey, he's actually quite jacked, so I'll take that.
yeah. God damn. Actually, we could make that as a thumbnail. Then we just Photoshop like this thing all over like doctor ratio. And like, I interviewed a real life doctor. yeah, of course. Holy shit, it's so based. Oh, like actually, how is it like doing? Because I understand like if you do medical school, there's like you get a huge amount of debt, and then you have to do like residency for super long, and you just don't get paid shit. So it's like a lot of years later, then you get like your return on investment back. So, yeah.
Okay. So medical school was quite fun the first 5 years, but it is very expensive. If I remember correctly, it's 20,000 per semester. And going up. So thankfully, I kind of made it here out of a combination of luck. I had a relative who really helped out a lot, and to that I owe her a great literal debt, but as well as she's single and elderly, and I'm very aware that I'm where I am because of her, and so it is our duty to take care of her now that she's older. So thankfully, thanks to her, I did not have any student debt, which was a big help. So there are various ranks, inverted commas, of doctors in the hospitals in Singapore. So you start out as an intern or house officer, you go on to a medical officer, you become a registrar, and finally you become where I am, which is a consultant. Life as a junior doctor, which is anything except a consultant, it's really quite bad. You have to do very long overnight shifts. And when I say overnight, it doesn't really quite do justice to how long it is. We start at usual working hours of 7 a.m. We work till 5 p.m. and then we start our night shift at 5 p.m. After having worked a full work day, we continue until 7 a.m. the next day. So if you're counting, that's 24 hours. And then we stay on to hand over to the day team the patients that we saw overnight, which means that we stay on for the morning ward rounds. And then we do the jobs related to the morning ward rounds. And then we go home at about 12 to 2 p.m. the next day. So you have worked from 7 a.m. Monday to Tuesday 12 p.m. And if you do not love medicine, you will burn out really quickly, because if you don't love medicine, you cannot survive those hours. You will maybe get 2 to 3 hours of sleep if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you just get 0 hours of sleep. So the longest shift I've ever done personally was 6:30 a.m. on one day to 9:30 p.m. the next day. And so if you want a comfortable life, please do not choose medicine. It is very painful at the start. So that's 39 hours for those who can't be bothered to do the math.
What do you do for that specific shift?
So we worked. So I was taking care of like 20 to 30 patients in the day. Then I was responsible for all admissions to, I think, 3 wards at night. So basically it's a few hundred patients under my care and another more senior doctor for the whole night. So if anything happened with those hundreds of patients, we will have to go and attend to them. And then I start my day job again at 6:30 a.m. and I continue working until 9:30 p.m. So so it's not an easy path. I always tell my children that if they really want to do medicine, they have to be very sure. Otherwise, please choose another path, because it's not fun. Like, I think the biggest tell is that most doctors don't want their children to be doctors, just because it's really bad. Did I sleep? Yeah, so I think 1 hour, 2 hours. It is quite bad. You're not really paid that well when you're first starting out as the lower ranked doctors. So it is quite a hard path to tread. But thankfully in Singapore, once you get to the consultant level in a public hospital, you are quite well compensated as compared to my European colleagues. Not as high as the Americans. The Americans earn ridiculous amounts of money, but they also work very hard. They work harder than us probably. We start at 7, they start at 5 a.m. and they go home at midnight. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess now I kind of just let the chat take the floor and just ask any questions they have. And
I'm reading it as well.
Chat, you guys can ask anything, and then Zev will do his best.
I saw somebody ask about pharmacy. Pharmacy is a very wide field where you can do clinical pharmacy, like the pharmacists you see in hospital. You can also go into like the pharma companies and earn big bucks. So it's quite wide. It's quite female dominated. So, if you're a guy, you'll be surrounded by girls all the time. You probably have no issues finding a girlfriend. Poor shitty country.
Sorry, I wanted to ask, would you have picked medicine, or would you have picked a different career if you know that you could have?
I would still have picked medicine. I guess you can say I'm sort of like a true believer. I did it not because of the money, but because both of my parents when I was young had major medical issues that the doctors of that time helped them over. It was actually they both had cancer basically.
Shit. Okay.
And so I went into medicine after they had gotten better, kind of, wanting to pay back, be like the doctors who saved my parents, basically. But yeah, I realized I didn't have the heart for oncology, purely because it's very painful to lose patients all the time, and I don't think I have the emotional resilience to always have patients die on me. So I picked another specialty. Yeah, for those who are saying that, unfortunately my parents are not around anymore. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I went on this health and fitness craze, because I want to be around for my kids, unlike my current situation. So it is what it is, life is life.
Yo, Kari asked, what would you want your children's job to be ideally? Like one occupation?
Whatever makes them happy. That's a simple answer. Hopefully it pays the bills enough such that they don't starve. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just want them to be happy.
Damn. Not a lot of parents could say that with a confident heart, man. But okay.
I know, maybe I will think again when they are
especially
they want to choose they're going to choose some weird, you want to be a what? And then I'll slap them, but
or if they want to be a streamer.
For now, let me live my. Hey, you're doing quite well, what?
Yeah, but it's not the norm, man. It's not the norm.
Yeah, so for now, let me live with my idealistic view of I just want them to be happy for now, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
still sending them to tuition though.
Oh, actually, how many tuitions do you send kids to?
So we try to let them have a childhood. So the older one just has Chinese and swimming. Chinese
Right.
because, we all Singaporeans kind of suck at Chinese.
Yep.
And swimming because 70% of the water of the planet is water, and he kind of needs to know how to not drown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all. No dance, no English, no Kumon, no nothing. Just
Oh
go
my god,
swimming.
Kumon, bro. My mom sent me so much. It's pretty cute though. Like the little templates, and they got a circle, they circle for the test. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kumon.
there's this whole stereotype of Kumon, yeah. And the 2-year-old, obviously, she's 2. She doesn't have any, she does not need enrichment classes, guys. If my children choose not to go to college, will I support them? Wow, that's a toughie. I think you can go to college, university for our local context, and still do what you want to do after university is over. And it's the standard Asian parent fallback plan thing, but I think it's a bit scary launching into life without a parachute because, for every one person that makes it, there are a lot of people that don't. So I just kind of want them to have an insurance plan,
What do you collect that makes your house cluttered AF?
Oh, nice. So I collect metal built Gundams, which are basically Gundam figurines. As the name suggests, they're fully made out of metal. Not fully, sorry, they're metal parts. And they're a lot heavier and sturdier than your normal model kits. So you can actually, pose them. I like, it's very weird, I like the Seed series as well. So most of my collection is Seed. So that's one big part. The second big part is Masterpiece Transformers. So Masterpiece and Transformers are a line of Transformers that are meant not for kids. Because the transformation is very complex, and because of that, it's very complex. It's very realistic in terms of their appearances. So that's my second big collection. I think that's about it. Just Gundams and Transformers.
You collect waifus?
No, I mean
Your wife won't like it.
I have a real one, right? Why would I need a wife?
Okay.
How did I meet my wife? I'm sorry, but it's the very most boring way to meet her. I met her at work. I met her in hospital. I'm sorry to live up to the stereotypes, but it is what it is.
How long have you guys been dating before marriage? And yeah.
We were together in 2012. We got married in 2014. So we were dating for about 1.5 years before I popped the question.
Oh, actually, that's quite fast, right?
Yeah, it's considered quite fast in Singapore anyway.
Yeah.
How did I find Pokke? From Shiv? Because he was content creator covering HSR, which I liked at the time. And he had this very unique accent, which you don't really hear very much in content creation. It's so like, hey, local representation, bro. Okay, what specialties do I do? I am a gastroenterologist. My wife is an allergist. So my fun way of introducing myself to people at parties is I stick tubes down throats and up butts, and you pay me to do so. I also happen to be a transplant physician, so I take care of patients who've had a transplant or are going into a transplant. So it's a bit complicated. Yeah.
Oh, he checks up your ass.
Yeah. There's called colonoscopy.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is my 10-year anniversary this year. And we were planning a big trip to like the Maldives and all that. But sadly, not sadly, sorry. But we have our third child coming in August. So unfortunately, the Maldives have to wait.
Oh my god, so glad you mentioned that. Would you retire in Singapore, or like would you travel to anywhere else to retire? Or like any countries in particular in mind?
Okay, so I mean, there's stuff that you want to do, and there's stuff that the receiving country will actually let you do. If you look into how countries deal with retirees, you kind of need to come with a lot of income or a lot of assets, because let's face it, you are a drain on their system. You are not a productive worker for the country, and you are only going to take up healthcare resources. And so because of that, if you really want to retire overseas, there's always a certain minimum standard the minimum amount that it takes, like Australia used to be, I can't remember, was it 1 million or 2 million? And now it's just gone up and up and up, and before looking at what place you want to go, you have to look at the conditions that place will accept before they take you in for retirement. But to answer the question directly, actually, I don't quite mind retiring here.
Okay.
It's still home. Home is still home now,
Damn.
Have I made it in life? Not quite. I would like to get that $7 to $8 million landed house. And then maybe, as a HDB boy, I will feel that I have made it in life. Physical therapy is a stable job. It's very stable, dude. If you are good as a physiotherapist, you will be swarmed with patients. You will charge like $100 an hour. You'll be swarmed with patients. Your waiting list will be like weeks long. And that is from trying to book PTs myself. But you have to be good.
Any advice for Gen Zs? Yeah, the Wagashi's question.
Just remind me again, how old are Gen Z?
I have no idea. They're born in 2000, I think. Probably 18, 19 this year.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, it's going to be tough. I'm actually worried not just for Gen Z, but for my own kids as well. Mainly because of the AI revolution. I think whatever you do, it kind of has to be somewhat future-proof against AI. If your job can be replaced by AI, it will, because it just saves costs. And so dumb labor or unskilled labor is unfortunately the first thing to go. So you need to acquire some sort of skill, some sort of, I don't know, something that sets you apart from a machine, right? So no matter how much you look down on plumbers, a machine can't do your pipes for you, I think, for now. Anyway, no matter how you look down on tradesmen, you still need a human hands to do the work, you know. So I'm thinking from that perspective now, looking at my kids' jobs, you know. You asked me the question earlier, but another thing that goes into it is not just what they want, but it kind of also has to be AI proof. So they tell me they want to be an artist, I'm like, son, I'm sorry to break it to you, but art now, in the age of AI, in the age of generative AI, it's not a great idea.
Anything you want to go for it.
Tell or learn the younger audience our experience. Wow. Omega, you have the most difficult questions, dude. I think do what you love, do what you believe in. And, you know, because if you do what you love and hopefully it doesn't get replaced by AI, your work will never feel like a job. You know, it's not just a job. It'll feel like, you know, it's a passion, something like that. And the second part is be kind to yourself. I hated myself for a long time growing up fat and overweight. And it was only until I learned to kind of treat myself better, I love myself a bit more. I do it because I like myself instead of, you know, hating myself, that I eventually got anywhere with fitness.
Oh, any fitness tips? I think a lot of chat will need it.
Very difficult leh. Walao.
Okay, how to stop being fat?
Okay, I mean, there's only one way, right? You did it, I did it. The way is called a caloric deficit, guys. I mean, this is okay. The question is, how do you achieve a sustainable caloric deficit for long enough that it can make sustainable and long-lasting weight loss? And that's basically, you have to find a way to eat foods that are a bit more satiating, that are a bit more fill you up a bit more, and that are lower in calorie. Because how many calories a food has, unfortunately, doesn't correlate very well to how much it fills you up. I think a prime example is a simple potato. I always tell this to my patients. A baked potato, let's say a plain baked potato, right? You have that with steak. You know, usually you have this thing called baked potato. If you don't have it with whipped cream, sour cream, bacon, like you just have it plain, right? How many of those can you eat? Very few, maybe one and a half, because it's ridiculously satiating. However, take a bag of potato chips, right? Most of us can probably inhale a bag of potato chips and have it over with in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know how many whole potatoes went into that bag of potato chips? The big ones, you know, the Lay's, the big ones, not the tiny ones that you have for lunch. The big bag of potato chips has 3 potatoes inside, 3 whole potatoes. So why are you able to eat 3 whole potatoes in that form versus a boiled potato? The simple answer is satiety. So unfortunately, the boring stuff works. Eat more vegetables because they fill you up, which is what I see what Pokke does a lot. He always has these low calorie snacks, you know, like your grass jelly, right? I saw I wanted to buy
grass jelly. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying it as well for my next cutting phase. You know, things that fill you up, things that are high in protein because they maintain your lean muscle mass while you're reducing fat. Because you don't want to lose muscle with your fat, you just kind of want to lose fat. So you kind of want to eat less, eat more fiber, eat more whole foods, work out so you keep your muscle while you lose just fat. What if I need to gain weight? I love to have your problem, man. But my biggest advice is just drink your calories, because it's just the easiest way to get down lots and lots of calories. If you don't want to buy mass gainer, just drink whole milk. 2 liters of whole milk, I guarantee you'll put on weight. Whether that's good weight or not, that's it depends on how good your training is.
Oh, actually, speaking of this, what's your diet nowadays?
So it's quite simple. I did a 1 year cut from 90 to 65 kilos. So that's 25 kilos in a year. So that's about half a kilo a week. And I kind of just go back to the same things nowadays. So I do protein oats usually, or I do some kind of protein cereal in the mornings. I have some protein yogurt. And then lunchtime, okay, I don't have the time to meal prep, so I order from meal prep companies. There are a lot in Singapore. I don't want to do a free advertisement for them, but if you DM me in Discord, I'm happy to tell you what companies to buy from. And then for dinner, my helper, we just recently got a helper to help with our 2 kids. She cooks a home cooked meal, just rice and protein and all that. So it's nothing very extravagant. It's all very simple. Greek yogurt is very good because it's mostly fat free. So if you find fat free Greek yogurt, it's actually very good macros. The only problem with Singapore is that it's ridiculously expensive. It's so expensive.
Oh, Singapore don't even sell the egg whites. I know Americans, they have a lot of those egg whites. But it's damn expensive.
Yeah, it is. What's it called again? There's this. It's called albumen. So
I don't know what's it called, but it's super expensive. It's more than $10 for one thing. I know. When you can literally just buy eggs, then
Yeah, you can just sieve it out yourself. You can, but you pay for the convenience.
Yeah. What's a split
Omega asked a very good question. Hold on. What about the new Ozempic trend? Ozempic is called semaglutide. Semaglutide is a medication that suppresses your appetite. It is very effective in causing weight loss. The evidence-based trials show a roughly 15% decrease in weight over the course of 1 year. The main 2 problems with Ozempic, if I may summarize, is that number 1, your weight loss if you do not resistance train is almost half muscle, half fat. That's the first big con. So you have to resistance train. The second thing about Ozempic is that because you are relying on it to suppress your appetite, if you go off Ozempic and you do not change your lifestyle, you will go back to the same weight. And that's what we've seen in the studies as well. So it is not a magic cure. If you do not change your lifestyle, you will forever have to buy this medication from Novo Nordisk. And which is why, stonks go up for Novo Nordisk. For all those in stocks, if you look at Novo Nordisk, the stocks have gone up ridiculously, like 100%, 200% in the last 2 years simply because of Ozempic.
What's your training split now? Like your gym split?
Upper lower. I do upper lower. Upper lower, so 4 times a week.
Do you like cardio and all that?
I'm a bodybuilder, so not really. But
okay.
I think I have to go back to doing cardio because I keep gassing out during high rep sets.
Yeah.
My trainer is just shaking his head at me. So I kind of have to go back to doing that.
Would you ever think about moving to America? Or for a couple of years or for vacation, a couple of months? This kind?
No, because I don't want to get shot. No, I'm kidding. No, primarily because I'm very worried about their healthcare system and how it is not quite adequate for the purposes of providing healthcare. It's really good in making money. It's not so good if you want to be a normal citizen and be a user of healthcare there. So I would rather not move to the States, even though I know my earning potential could probably be a lot higher. Yeah. I just don't want to get shot, Just you also try not to get shot when you go and visit Tectone.
Oh, absolutely. Then what about Europe?
I just came from Europe, so I spent a year.
UK,
I just spent a year in the UK learning stuff which we don't have in Singapore to bring back, and it's quite nice, I guess. Especially the Scandinavian countries. They really use their taxes very well, and the quality of life there is really nice. If I had to move to some place, it'd probably be somewhere like, what country is Copenhagen from again? I can't remember, but it's a really, really livable city. The only thing is everything costs a lot, but the minimum income there is also quite high. Denmark, thank you very much. Europe is quite nice. It's just a bit dirtier than I'm used to coming from Singapore. It's not as safe as Singapore. Sorry to keep making the comparison. But yeah, you can have a good standard of living in the EU as well. Scandinavia is great, honestly. Yeah, I really like my time in Denmark. It was a short family vacation, but it's really nice.
How long are you gonna be staying in Singapore?
Forever? Hopefully. I'm never going back. That was just a 1 year thing.
Okay, so you're gonna be in Singapore for pretty much it
Yeah.
We should have Haidilao someday. If we
actually
do
well.
it. Yeah. That was really fun.
Would you take me as a client to go private clinic? Why not? I get money from you. Why not? No, I'm kidding. French rate, don't worry.
I'm chilling.
Business class. Not really. Only when I have the miles for it. Mainly because I'm a parent. I think it's a bit cruel if I fly business class and chill while my 6-year-old and 2-year-old slum it in economy. So I just take economy with my kids. Business class is really nice if you have issues sleeping in economy. But if you're young, that's not really a problem. What surprises you the most when you first became a parent? This is something you're not going to understand until you become a parent, I think. But you truly stop living for yourself when your first child is born. And you actually start living for somebody else.
Damn.
A bit deep, but that's what I felt. You no longer just live for your own selfish desires, basically. Okay, so the question is, what do you think about the fact that it becomes more normal to not have children? I can't fault people for that because I've mentioned that the middle class is getting squeezed more and more. And if you can't afford to put a roof over your head or eat or heat your apartment, as in Europe, it's very hard to imagine bringing a child into that. So I think it's a problem that's only going to get worse. If the governments aren't going to do some kind of wealth redistribution, it's just going to keep getting worse.
Oh, do you have a pet?
No, because my wife doesn't like animals, but it's fine because I have two little animals running around the house all the time.
Okay. Okay, but if your wife is okay, would you get it?
Maybe a cat? I'm a cat person. I'm sorry for the dog people there.
Yeah, that's good. Cat is like easy to raise. They're just chilling.
Okay, dental school. First year students in terms of memorizing medical jargons and anatomical terms. Wow, that's tough. So you just kind of have to keep reading. I don't know, you just have to keep memorizing it. There are usually memory tricks that we use called mnemonics, where you like remember an acronym and then each letter of that long word stands for something. But they don't really exist for every subject, and so you just kind of have to keep staring at the page until it goes into your brain, sadly. Food takes about 2 to 3 days. No, it's not necessarily 2 to 3 days. It can be faster, it can be slower. So this is my specialty as a GI specialist. It can come out as quick as a few hours, depending on what you eat, especially, you know, if you're Asian and you're lactose intolerant and you take lots of milk. You can look forward to having diarrhea if you're lactose intolerant and you drink lots of milk. So it's not a standard 2 to 3 days. There are also some people with chronic constipation that can take up to 5 to 7 days for food to come out the other end. So yeah.
What would you say is like a good degree? Like if you're okay to go university, a degree to pick up?
I guess the problem is, right, you run the problem of going into what the Singapore government keeps doing, which is like trying to pick the next hot thing. Oh, this now is engineering, now it's biomedical, now it's whatever. And I'm just worried I'll pick wrong, you know. But I guess currently, you'll probably be looking at something in computer science, even though I know that's a saturated market. The traditional professions still would do well. Unfortunately, I don't want to beat my own drum, but medicine, because everybody falls sick. Law, because everybody needs a lawyer eventually. The professions are still a safe bet. And if you're truly worried about the rich owning the world, you kind of have to pick a job that serves the rich. How do I put it nicely? You need to provide a service that the rich will definitely need. And that's what the middle class were in medieval times, if you read your history, right? They provided services that the ultra wealthy lords or kings still needed. So your middle class were traditionally like your doctors and surgeons and all that. They will always need stuff like that. You need to provide something of value to society. If society caters only to the rich, which unfortunately looks like it is, then that's where we're headed. How's work during COVID? It sucked. It was quite bad, but it was also quite interesting. So for all of you who stayed at home, we never stayed at home in COVID. So it was very weird driving down the expressways, which are normally full of cars, only for it to be very empty. It was also very scary, not knowing if any of us would catch the virus and bring it back home and maybe die from it. It was magnified by the fact that I already had my son at that time, and so you kind of don't want to bring it back to your spouse and your child and maybe get them killed. So I had friends who, when they worked in a hot ward, which is what they call wards with actual COVID patients, then they would go and stay in a hotel for the entire week or entire 2 weeks of the time that they worked in the hot ward, so that there was no risk of bringing it back to their family. And that's what we did. We were very lucky in Singapore that our government was extremely well prepared. I swear I'm not a PAP propagandist, but they were really very well prepared. You can see this from how we handled the pandemic as compared to the other countries. And I think it is a point of pride for the Singapore healthcare system that we did not lose a doctor or a nurse to COVID. We did not have healthcare staff die from COVID. We had all the masks we needed. We had all the vaccines we needed. We were always protected. We always had the stuff we needed to do our jobs. And unfortunately, you can't say that for other countries where healthcare staff dropped dead by the hundreds and the thousands. So we were very lucky. We handled it very well. About as well as any country can. Diets. Firstly, there is no diet that has been shown to be superior to others, except maybe for the Mediterranean diet when it comes to long-term health outcomes. And even then, the evidence is very small. In terms of all those diets, I go back to what humans need. We kind of need different micronutrients from different food groups. So for example, in carnivore, you're missing out a lot of micronutrients from vegetables. You're missing out a lot of fiber, which has been shown to have a direct impact on your chance of dying. The more fiber you take, the less your chance of dying. We call it mortality in medicine. And so some of these diets just don't really make much sense. Yeah, HSR. So what is my best and worst luck? Well, Pokke can answer that.
Yo, best and worst luck. I think Robin was probably the worst, right?
No, it's not actually. I went back
not?
to have a look. So amusingly, I think it was Sparkle was the worst.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sparkle was 1,200, followed by Huo, followed by Robin. So Robin is third worst.
What's the best again? I remember it was like sub 700, like the best.
I think it was Kafka, let me check.
Right. I think Kafka was actually the first one as well. Like the very first time we did.
Kafka was 530 for the character. So it's 800. So Kafka was not too bad. It was 800 for everything all in. I think that's probably one of the better ones. But RNG is RNG. After a while, you kind of have to skew to the mean, and it is what it is, lah. What to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So after so many years of gacha, I no longer get emotional about polls. It's just whatever.
What would be like one thing that you would splurge on other than gacha games?
A home gym. I'm sick of
home
sharing.
Gym. Oh, so when you get that 7 to 8 million landed, you'll build a home gym.
Definitely, man.
Oh, but won't the upkeep be very annoying? Cause like your rust and like the sweat and like the everything.
Yeah, so I need to make sure the vendor who sells me the equipment also provides after sales service.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then.
but no, power rack definitely, cable machine for sure, adjustable bench. I have adjustable dumbbells already, so that fits in. And I think with that you can really do a lot of things. You put in specialty bars like trap bars, a cambered bench press bar, safety squat bar, I think you have lots of stuff to get a good workout going.
Yeah.
Did I get a Staff of Homa instant? No, I got R10 Homa, so that's 2 R5 Homas in the same amount that he took to get a single R5, I think.
Wait, what did you get two?
One for Zhongli and one for Hu Tao.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
What games helped me get through medical school? So this is an interesting one because I actually played CS Source. So not 1.6 and not Go that became CS2. I played CS Source competitively when I was in my second year of medical school. And we made it to the top 8 of the local WCG. So we did the usual professional semi-pro CS Source CS thing where we scrim on weekends against other local teams, and then we go for tournaments and all that, But the amount of land shot fees we paid was definitely more than the amount of winnings from the tournaments. So sadly, do you want to let Pokke see my Genshin account? It's up to him. Yeah, he's the man.
Wait, it's just same login?
Yeah, it's the same login, man. It's the same login for every Hoyoverse account.
Oh, okay, sure.
Is there a story for how your IGN Xethrion came to be? Yes, it was the name of my Diablo 2, original Diablo 2 Necromancer. I just came out of it from nowhere as the original name. Oh, I don't know why she's there. Oh, I know why, because I was farming the boss, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I did my usual for the constellations for this account. Yeah, so it is what it is.
So everybody just E6.
Maybe? Except for the 4 stars. I can't be bothered to pull 4 stars.
Damn. Holy shit.
There is no such thing as long-term stock advice, dude. If you want long-term stock advice, buy an ETF, hold on to it for 10 years, enjoy your money. That's it. That's your long-term stock advice there. Or buy an index fund and hold it for 10 years, and that's it. There's no there's no magic to it. I have played Honkai Impact Third. Everybody is triple S there. So but it needs a lot of time. Electrical engineering, yeah, it's quite good, I think. You can have fun, by the way, Pokke. Just chill.
Okay, sure. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, but okay.
Hold left click with Arlecchino just to get the bond, and
Yeah.
You should die quite soon.
Yeah. I'm just spamming random buttons.
Did I max out every Hoyo game? I'm kind of sorry to say, but yes.
Insane. Interactive gameplay. I don't even know what the hell the guy looks like.
It is. Yeah, you please feel free to use my resin. I am farming it. Unironically.
Damn.
If you want.
What gear is this anyways?
This is Gladiator. I am not a traditional whale. mainly because I do try to keep up with the meta and all that, and properly build my characters. Have I done the 2.2 story quest? Yeah, it was good. No spoilers, but it was really good. Better than 先捉罗浮.
Bro, I don't even remember what happened in Senzo Dofu. Just ended so fast.
Ouch. Oof. What do I think of the Fontaine Con power creep in Genshin? I mean, that's kind of how they have to deal with power creep, right? We had this interesting topic in the VIP lounge channel, where we basically came to the realization that most of the power creep in 2.0 in HSR is locked behind constellations. So power creep might not seem like a lot for the average player, but the instant you go to E1 or E2, you will feel the power creep. And I think that's what they're doing in Genshin as well. Or you can check my weapons if you want, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just like, holy shit, she runs so fast.
Yeah, she does. She's very good. And she got 2 charges at E1. Sorry, C1.
Okay.
Intermittent fasting to be good. There's no medical detrimental effects. Sell my CSGO skins. No? I like them. WUWA is probably too much of a time commitment for me to commit to. I might just try it out, but as long as once I see the grind, which I have seen, I probably will drop it very quickly. Which module do I struggle the most in medical school? Probably anatomy, just because it's blind memorization, it's very painful. Will I not employ exact account? No, I'm level 46 on the clocky statue, and I will get it myself. How do I find a plan to play Genshin or Honkai? I don't, so I dropped Honkai Impact. But HSR is very light. For Genshin, there are some days I don't log in and do dailies, and my stamina is capped at 160, as you can see. It's the most X skin I own on. I don't know. I only buy stat track skins on CS2. I only own them on CS2. So I think, yeah. I can't remember though. Does my new help? No, she doesn't. She helps with cooking and cleaning, that's all. What's my supplement stack? Oh, that's a nice question actually. So I use creatine. If my pre-workout doesn't have it, I use Vit D, I use fish oil, and I use multivitamin. What's my favorite anime? Probably the Gundam Seed series. Yeah, it's not a paid chatter moment, but I do like the Gundam Seed series a lot. I like it so much that I go back and rewatch it from time to time.
But I still haven't watched a new movie.
Hey, it's really good. You really need to get it, man.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
I'm short. I'm 170. I'm not a tall king like Pokke.
Who's your favorite unit in Genshin?
Al-Hytham, because of his water gun mode. Is really fun at C6.
Water gun mode.
Yeah, he just shoots, like he just keeps spurting. Oh, that sounds a bit wrong. I mean, he keeps shooting water.
Oh, isn't that Neuvillette?
Neuvillette. Sorry, Neuvillette. Yeah,
okay. Neuvillette. Yeah.
So supplementation, it is not performance-enhancing drugs. In fitness, training, nutrition, sleep is 95%. Supplements is just 5%. Can I verify Pokke's height? Yes. He is taller than me, at least by 10 centimeters, I think. I didn't take out a tape and measure him, so I don't know what his exact height is, but he's definitely a lot taller than me.
It's very just let Chit think I'm short. It's all good. It makes us feel better.
Why? It's not a fact.
Nah, it's fine. It's all good. We can take it.
He's at least 180, yes. How do I get a doctor wife when I'm not a doctor but work in a medical field? I don't know, man. Just hang around hospitals long enough. I have lots of single female medical school classmates. Ashwagandha beneficial for ADHD. I'm sorry, I haven't looked into the evidence for ADHD specifically, but there are cognitive benefits. You get stressed out from getting so many characters. So I skip building 4 stars. I don't build 4 stars anymore. I just build 5 stars, so that doesn't stress me out too much. She's very fun, by the way. She just leaves this like electro turrets. If there were things around you, they would just automatically shoot.
Ooh.
So if you then you link 3, they are stronger together.
Oh, so she's basically Heimerdinger. Do you play League?
I used to until people told me to go and do funny things to my mother, and then I stopped playing after a while because
I see. Zeph said, Snappy said, how are you still pushing 40 and still looking so good?
I mean, I'm a bit anal about my health. If you want to know, I track my sleep with an Aura ring. I track my steps with an Apple Watch. I track my weight every day, first thing in the morning. I track all the food I put in my mouth. I bring a weighing scale everywhere if I have to eat out. I track all my workouts as well with my trainer. So that's all data. I love data. That's not an approach that I would say is for everyone, but it works for me. I have a lot of colleagues who just cannot do what I do just because, it is a lot. But if you've grown up fat all your life, there's a certain psychological impetus to never go back to being fat again. a very big one actually. Any tips on tracking calories? It's called MyFitnessPal. I think Pokke has mentioned it before as well.
Yeah.
If you want an upgraded version but you have to pay for it, it's called MacroFactor. But yeah, MyFitnessPal is free to download from the App Store. This is not a sponsored post. It's free to use as well. There's a paid version, but you can use the free version. So yeah, it's very good.
Okay, yo, I'm gonna try a bit. I think we can wrap it up from there.
Sure. Have fun, man.
Yeah.
Protein powders have artificial sweetness on them. Not all of them. There is unflavored protein powder if you want, so you can try that. You cannot target fat areas, unfortunately. No, you just have to lose the fat from everywhere. And let me just show my credentials for talking about weight loss, which is not my medical credentials, but it's these credentials instead. So that is, I cut to 12%, I think. That was the most I've ever cut to. So yeah, so I've been there, I've walked the talk. Yeah. The nice thing about this Pokke, he can just do whatever he wants, honestly. As in, just talking about your team building.
Oh yeah, I just picked up Bobas and then I just see where it goes with there.
It doesn't matter. It refreshes the skill, by the way, you can just skill again.
Oh okay.
Yeah, her alt refreshes the skill.
Wait, but like, everything is dead. So
I know. Because they are properly built. Do you think it's possible to continuously gain muscle at Natty? No, it is. Okay. Nuanced answer. You can gain like 1 gram of muscle. Okay, I'm kidding. You can get a little bit of muscle if you keep at a low body fat percentage, but sooner or later you need the caloric surplus. What is the most important lesson to teach your kid? Wow. Be kind to others.
Insane.
How's Abyss? Have you played on your main account?
Yeah, I did, but like I don't have enough team. I don't have enough for the second team.
Oh yeah, because you're just starting out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy as F2P, man. Yeah.
I'm literally just spamming like every single button.
You can do that.
And then like it's just like
yeah, this is a super conduct physical team trust.
Yep. Bro, Raiden is so strong. Oh my god, crazy.
Yeah, Raiden is a very strong SC2. Yeah. How will we teach limits of kindness? I mean, so you can be kind, but you can also not let people take advantage of you. How do I literally just thought it out myself. It was my D2 Necromancer. I'm 170 cm. For those who ask, does artificial sweetener cause illnesses? So this is a nuanced topic, and unfortunately social media doesn't do nuanced. But in animal studies and in mechanistic studies, they cause problems. But in human randomized controlled trials, there has been no evidence to show that artificial sweeteners cause
Lucan
problems.
gifted 16 YouTube.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. As far as it doesn't, it's I don't even know what I'm doing, and like things are just dying. So like very unrelatable account, if I must say so myself, you know.
Yeah, you know the funny thing is, even though it's like that, I still find it tedious, man. Like I'll just rather do like MOC.
It's like I don't find joy if I'm like playing this. Like if I'm playing Genshin, I'm just button mashing and just everything just dies, and I don't know what's going on, and it's over. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I feel like the turn-based system in HSR is still a bit more brain to manage rather than this. You not tried Mona? Yeah, there's Mona, you know.
Oh right, true.
You can use her for whatever she does.
Aboba.
You have Mona, right? Do you have Mona?
No, not my account, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so her Q is her damage amp. Then you can switch her other units to just, like blast them.
Insane.
For Yelan, her C6 makes her personal damage go crazy. Once you use the C6, the first 3 or 5 shots, it hits like a nuke, just normal attack. Yeah, like that.
Insane.
Yeah, 10 seconds and over.
This guy, I'm just holding and
E, Q, and hold left click and just finish the stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can pretty much solo one side. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, in the end of the day, this is not Monster Hunter, right? If you wanna... Oh, I love Monster Hunter, by the way.
Oh shit, so, we are gonna play WoWs?
Of course, man. I know, time is an issue, but it's Monster Hunter, man. My other big collection is the Capcom Monster Hunter figurines of the various monsters.
Oh, okay.
I started with World, so I have the full collection of World
actually,
stuff.
Yo, what would you say is like your most expensive item? Like most expensive collection?
I think it would have to be one of the metal builds. Because that can go up to like 3, 4, 500. per piece. I think it might be the concept to freedom, which is quite nice. With and or the destiny with the wings of light, the special wings of light that adds onto the back.
300. No, I still have one more floor. But 300 for a single, like the largest, most expensive one, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Cheap,
I
expensive.
thought it would be like thousands, if not like tens of thousands, like some nuclear limited edition shit.
Yep. I'm a Heartlander, so I mean at heart anyway. My favorite cheap food is roti prata.
Ooh, okay.
From Springleaf to be precise. Expensive food, I don't know leh. Hai Di Lao. Beauty in the Pot is quite expensive.
Have you ate like what was the name again? Michelin star restaurants?
But I'm never quite like full at the end of it. They are quite very good for the experience though. So Labyrinth is a very good Michelin star restaurant in Singapore, where they do like they break down like the what do you call it, the local dishes, and they do it in weird ways. So if you want to try a nice one, that's one. Yeah, we were personal friends with like the owner, I think, or the people behind it before it quit anyway. So I do pick mints, which I'm sure is surprising to chat. But I just pick enough mints to max the next 5-star character.
Yeah, I think that's a good enough comment. Holy shit, I'm so sorry that this was so long.
No, it's fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, Zeph, thank you so much for our first villager account audit. Any closing statements before you can rest tonight?
Be responsible, everybody, and make sure your IRL needs are taken care of first. Play games just to have fun. Don't get too invested in something that is ultimately just a fun pastime. And all the best for your real life endeavors.
Yeah, sounds good. Yo, thank you so much for coming, man. Good night.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.